Hello everyone again. I'm super happy to be back with one of the most consequential demos in the history of the Internet Computer Project. Since 2019, more than $500 million has been spent developing ICP technology. And we've now reached a critical moment where this technology is being productized and taken to the mass market. Cloud engines, together with the AI that builds on them, cloud engines, together with the AI that builds on them, cloud engines, together with the AI that builds on them, is the foundation upon which the Internet Computer shall enter the $1 trillion revenue a year cloud market. AI will build nearly all our online functionality for us going forward. AI will build nearly all our online functionality for us going forward. AI will build nearly all our online functionality for us going forward. And the Internet Computer is the ultimate platform for supporting that paradigm. If you look at the map, you can see an AI node. So you can also add AI nodes to your cloud engine. And if you do that, you can run your large language model inference on open weights models on hardware that you provision. And that's important for some people. Some people want to actually run their inference in a specific place on hardware that they control. AI is now making it much easier to develop really sophisticated SaaS services that now run on this fully tamper-proof, unstoppable platform. And I can tell you that all of these standard apps that I'm showing you here were also created without a single line of code being written by a human, without a single line of code being written by a human, without a single line of code being written by a human. So this, of course, is the whole purpose of cloud engines. You're running on hack-proof infrastructure, and when some of the nodes blow up, you keep on running. I should mention at this stage, this is key to the enablement of AI that builds. This is key to the enablement of AI that builds. This is key to the enablement of AI that builds. Traditionally, whenever you upgrade an app in production, there's like a human systems admin team that makes sure you don't lose any data and will roll back if something goes wrong and things like that. And there's that team's also making sure everything stays up and running. And of course, you've got a security team that's making sure no holes are being introduced. On the Internet Computer, on a cloud engine, AI can deploy to cloud, a sovereign frontier cloud, where it gets a guarantee that, number one, no infrastructure hacks are possible. Number two, the application will always run. So you don't need a systems admin team to keep on, to be available to keep it running. And in fact, if you're using Motoko as the backend language, which is a frontier programming language that Caffeine Labs is now developing specifically for AI, that framework will guarantee the AI cannot lose data when it updates an app. And this is really important for production use, because if in the future, like our online services are going to be much more fluid. We're going to push stuff live very quickly, and then keep on developing it in production in response to user feedback and changing needs and things like that. And so it's incredibly important that when the AI is working at the speed of conversation, it doesn't make a mistake that causes a lossy update, some kind of subtle data loss. With the framework that AI is building on these engines, if the AI makes a mistake, the framework detects that, and the AI just retries coding. And this is key to why the Internet Computer is really the ultimate platform for AI that builds. The Internet Computer is really the ultimate platform for AI that builds. The Internet Computer is really the ultimate platform for AI that builds. And this really, I think, is the future of cloud. Like in the future, we're not, humans aren't going to be building online functionality. It's nearly all going to be created by AI on our direction. And we're going to have to become much better product managers. That'll be much more important than writing code. So that's why, at Dfinity, we're so focused on the Internet Computer supporting AI that's building for us, rather than directly supporting craft coding, supporting AI that's building for us, rather than directly supporting craft coding, supporting AI that's building for us, rather than directly supporting craft coding. But of course, you can do that if you want. You can run software on cloud engines that's immune to traditional infrastructure hacks because it's not infrastructure, it's a network. And the apps and services you deploy on a cloud engine are in fact running on a mathematical network, and they're always on within the fault bounds of those networks. So this reflects, our general approach. Uncage the AI and let it build our online world for us. Uncage the AI and let it build our online world for us. Uncage the AI and let it build our online world for us. And the Internet Computer is going to be the ultimate frontier cloud platform for AI that builds.
What's going on, guys? I know it's been a minute. It's been almost probably 3 months, but long story short, I just have the time now, right? I got pretty lucky. I mean, I actually had a couple of videos that I recorded, but I was kind of rushed and I wasn't exactly satisfied with my message. And that's why I do these videos, right? I mean, I try educating. I try keeping people in reality as much as I can because there's a quote that I saw recently because I've just been thinking about the state of the world and what people's beliefs are. That's usually what I think about a lot, to try and keep myself grounded and see things from all perspectives. And there was a quote, right? And it's by Vladimir Lenin. And I'm not sure if it actually originated from him, but it was that if you tell a lie enough, it starts to become the truth, right? And logically speaking, that doesn't make sense, obviously, but psychologically, that's the message, right? That's the point. That's the point of the quote. Is that if anything happens often enough, especially in a narrative sense, and it's pushed on the news or made to make you think a certain way, whether it's one thing or two things or multiple things, right? Like, for example, with the Epstein files, there's a lot of speculation on who's involved, when they were involved, right? And yeah, it's just going to cause a lot of chaos. So I also think that's true, though, with the truth, right? I think if you counter that with a verifiable truth, then that could also be just as impactful. So that's why I make these videos, right? But it's always with the concept that I'm trying to come as close to the truth as possible. Or maybe I shouldn't call it truth, right? Maybe I should call it the current reality. So, because I'm trying to make a logical sense of why things are playing out this way, right? But just to start off though, congratulations to everybody. We're in a new phase, man. Uh, this is going to be the future of software, right? I mean, everybody knows that. Everybody's saying that already. I think there used to be a couple of people, maybe like a year or two ago, that were doubtful of AI and thought it was going to slow down. I don't think it's going to slow down. I think either it keeps progressing or it literally hits a brick wall, right? I don't think it's going to be a gradual slowdown anytime soon. And why do I think it's going to hit a brick wall? The only thing I can see slowing this down is a literal physical bottleneck, right? Like not enough actual physical compute or things to generate compute for the AI. So, or, maybe the more computation it does, maybe it gets hotter, right? We need better cooling systems or something, right? I think it's going to be a literal physical bottleneck if we, nothing that any amount of logic or design will stop, But if that, and I don't think that's actually likely, right? I do think they're going to be able to meet the minimum requirements they need, at least for the next 4 years, right? And but I'm gonna get into all of that later. But just to speak about the video I showed with Dominic, and I know that might have been a little annoying when I was first doing that editing for that. I didn't think it was that annoying, but maybe it was pretty annoying. But it's that same quote I was going to about saying a lie enough, right? Except with reality, right? Like replace the lie with the reality. And the whole point of that was showing or trying to tell you, and not just tell you, but I'm starting to think since day one, this may have been the purpose of Internet Computer. And I couldn't have seen that, right? I mean, guys, I got into crypto pretty late. I actually got into crypto the same year Internet Computer was founded, or not founded, but launched the mainnet, right, in May. And the first thing I bought was Cardano, right? And I didn't really know much. I didn't know anything at all about crypto, right? And but the point is that I couldn't. There's no way I could have seen. I mean, this seems like it was planned in a way because Dominic always had this vision, and not just him, but Dfinity as a whole, right? And obviously, I can't predict the future, but it seems like each passing week and month, that decision to build for the future was, I mean, he, I don't know, you know what I mean? I'm not gonna overhype them or anything, but anybody that was able to see I mean, I can't even think of another crypto actually that just, well, I can think of some, right? Like Algorand. I think Algorand is serious. Chainlink, right? Um, H bar. I think there's ones that really don't care about the whole trading and meme coin and DeFi culture and really just wanted to build infrastructure for the future, right? So, but the reality of the situation, guys, is that we're in a new phase. And what do I think this phase is? I think this is a dot-com crash equivalent, like that of the around the early 2000s, the late 90s, right? And right now it's anybody's bet, right? That's how it looks on the outside. It's really anybody's bet. You have to make your decision, and if you're going to make your decision based on price and nothing more, I mean, that's like, just to be completely nuanced, right? If your primary goal is just getting rich quick, then you're going to do that however you have to, right? I'm not an expert with any of that. My strategy is picking something I think is going to have more valuable than most or even anything and trying to find that one and maybe others that closely resemble that and make those my bets. Because that's how I think if I was going to treat this market in a serious way. And I've said this in all my videos, right? I think it's a huge contradiction that this market is such a joke and it's not taken seriously at all. And I'm actually going to get into the later slides of that. Oh, shit. And of course, this picture doesn't load. Damn. But the point I'm making though is that in April, right? You almost had a hack every single day. Something getting drained. And people are starting to realize, oh wait, maybe the tech actually matters. Oh, I know what this picture was. It was Anthony I forget his last name. I think it's Pompliano. I think that's what it is, but I'll put up a picture anyways. it was him saying that most people don't realize crypto is dead and it's never coming back to what it used to be, or something along those lines, right? And I agree with the tweet at face value, but as a whole, I think it depends on what you mean by crypto, in my opinion, right? Because it depends on how you saw crypto. If you see it as the movement of the better tech really winning at the end of the day, I don't think it's dead. I think it's just going to be reconstructed, because with my theory, right, with my you know, paranoid schizophrenic type of thinking, I'm thinking this was all planned, right? Like, I think this was always meant to happen. I actually have a tweet I made, and I was saying to someone, like, the catalysts are what's going to decide internet computers' future. And catalysts meaning stuff like this, guys, right? And this wasn't a hard prediction, right? Bobbio has been talking about this for the past 3 years, about the growing uh, cybercrime problem. And Definity is just a serious team. They're a serious team, and that's why I have confidence in investing in their product. It's that simple, right? None of this is financial advice. I'm just trying to explain why I'm doing what I'm doing, right? And why I think a lot of the narratives today are contradictory. Um, you just have to role play a little bit, right? Just like as I said in the first slide, I try to think of everybody's perspective. And I think it would do you well if you did the same, right? Like, just try to role play if you were someone outside of crypto, and if you were someone like the CEO of BlackRock with that kind of power and influence in society. Why would you look at crypto, seeing everything that's happened within it? And this is years after FTX. Why would you decide to endorse it more? And not only that, people from within the community are always saying that this was meant to take away power from the corrupt and the. I'm not saying, you know, just for slandering reasons that Larry Fink is corrupt or not. I'm just saying in general, right? The kind of general basis of the crypto community is that, you know, these big bankers and big corporations and big tech, you know, they're evil and they sell your data. And it's like, regardless of that's true or not, I mean, people get excited when they sign ETFs, which is another contradiction. But the main contradictions being, why would you be Larry Fink and be like, yeah, I'm going to endorse something that's supposed to take my power, according to most of the people buying it in retail? Which I this is the thing, guys. Um, and this is actually advice, okay? This isn't regarding crypto or anything. This isn't regarding education or anything. This is my personal advice. I think it would be good if you know, you just learn to, trying to put it into good words. I think it would be beneficial to you if you don't really follow any theory like your life depends on it. You know, just keep an open mind um about anything, and kind of look at this on a spectrum, right? Never accept that you're 100% right about anything, and just kind of always put yourself on like a weighing scale. Like, how close do I think I am to the truth? And, you know, attack your own arguments. I think that's vital today. But anyways, I just wanted to talk about this tweet real quick that I saw, and this just shows you that in the current time, things are gonna sound so insane. Like, there's no way, you know, internet computer could be at the top. There's no way that a dead chain could be revived. There's no way that something that we thought was gonna be the top five ended up going out of business, or the chain completely collapsed, right? And I feel very comfortable with internet computer, right? Each passing month, there's only something more and more that increases its value. They're building all the tools they need and all the products they need to really operate. I mean, even Dominic said it that this year a lot of things are going to be happening for internet computer, and that's not even getting into Pakistan, right? And what they achieved there. So, I mean, it's just I'm trying not to be as like surface level with everybody and trying to really think about this in a deeper way because we're this far in, right, to the technology and the entire space of crypto is imploding, right? But you got to ask yourself like which narratives are fabricated or not. What can you really believe? So I just try to look at the evidence I see, right? The evidence that I'm living through. And I feel like you could ask 10 people something in crypto, what they think crypto is, or what the whole point of all this stuff is, and everybody's going to have a different answer, right? Some people are going to say, oh, it's a new currency. Some people is going to say AI agents. Some person's going to say it's for freedom. I mean, I don't think it matters what anyone thinks. I think that the reason this is moving, and I've reiterated this in every video I've had, right? The reason this is all moving forward is because it's going to be something we can't really comprehend yet, right? Just kind of like the origins of the internet. So, and I just wanted to talk about the internet computer price real quick, and this is exactly what I was talking about regarding, there's just like so many people out here, man, that I mean, I'm just gonna give a warning, right? I think the future of my channel, I'm gonna be much more crashing out, right? Which is a slang term for like just raging pretty much. I mean, I already have like 50%, 80% of most accounts muted and blocked on my Twitter, and I don't like that app, I think it's just trash. But it's it's where crypto is popping, you know what I mean? Like you can't really go anywhere else regarding the news except YouTube, and YouTube has comments flooded with finance bots, right? There's bots everywhere now. So, but the point I was trying to make there was that I might just start raging because it's like I don't understand people, man. You know, we pump a little bit, right? We go up in price a little bit. Everybody gets excited, it crashes, and it's like they get all pissed off again. You guys should just expect this, man. You guys should just expect this. It happens every time. It's extremely manipulated. And the only thing that makes me upset is that everybody says it's manipulated, but then when stuff like this happens, they're surprised, right? Um, if this was a casino game, guys, and it was like a prediction thing, and I've done this thought project before, right? Like if you had to actually bet a chance on something, I would bet 90% that this is 95% that this is all manipulated beyond belief. The Bitcoin price, the Ethereum price, Solana price, every price in the top 100 probably, right? How many of these actually have value? But I can't prove that, which is why I'm not going to say it like it's truth to you, right? You're going to have to believe whatever you think. And I know that kind of disregards what I said earlier, right, about attacking your own arguments. It sounds pretty lazy for me to just say, "Oh, it's manipulated." right? That could come off, that could easily come off on someone from the outside, that I'm just coping, that I'm just trying to make myself feel better. I'm just living in denial. Like, no, it's not manipulation. Like, these people are scamming you, right? And if you believe that, that's fine. But in my head, there's much easier ways to scam people, guys, and I don't see why you would employ one of the most R&D completed team, which they claim they spent $500 million on, and it's a nonprofit. They could have had so many other ways to just rug. And the whole entire way it happened in the first place was it's just all extremely interesting. And that's another thing, man, that kind of annoys me. You don't have anyone else you can't blame anyone but yourself, guys. You weren't held at gunpoint to buy this. And especially with internet computer, if you see the overall chart and you still invested it, you would think that someone like that doesn't look at things at face value. People get in here, they start buying around $4, and then it drops to $2.50. And then they're like, wow, this was a scam. I'm done. This was a scam. Right? It goes up $1 and then everything's good again. This is the state of people's minds, guys. Right? And, if you feel offended because maybe you're one of those people, this should be a wake-up call to you. Because if you're just going to get emotional to everything that happens that you can't control, like this, like you literally can't control it. It's out of our control. This is the bet you make when you invest. This shouldn't even have to be said, though, in my opinion. You know what I mean? You're only gonna screw yourself over when you have that kind of impulsive mindset. And I don't mean impulsive as in you're gonna sell impulsive. I mean you're so quick to make a conclusion. Oh, they're scamming. I was wrong because the price changed. Nothing else changed, just the price. But then when it goes up $1, everybody's like, "Hallelujah, we're going back up," like this right here. And this was back in November when everybody was getting excited for $9, and I literally made a video saying, guys, which doesn't contradict my point. I just said I think this market's manipulated, and I said in this video when it was going up, guys, don't get excited because this volume is coming from out of nowhere, and for literally what even happened that's causing it to go up this much. It was just like that, and no one saw it coming. And then you had those like dumbasses from the SUI community being like, whoa, they were engagement farming internet computer. And that's the shit that pisses me off, man. These people have no integrity. That's like literally 95% of accounts, right? And I'm not saying, my whole argument here isn't to say you shouldn't care about price, right? But it goes without saying, like, why do you have to say I want the price to go up? Who doesn't want the price to go up, guys? Unless you literally feel like you haven't accumulated nearly as much. That's all I can think about. But it's going to happen when it's meant to happen. I don't know what else you want me to say. This is the truth, I think, right? And this is what just happened last week, right? Right now it's May 17th when I'm recording this. I don't know when I'm going to actually post it, but it's May 17th right now. And even here, I was like, watch this go back down, and then people are going to like get all depressed again. But guys, regardless of this, internet computer is being built for where the future is heading, right? And here's the even better part. The current narratives about crypto are imploding in real time. Internet computer needs a narrative shift. It can't survive. No, okay, I'm not going to say it can't survive. It will not flourish. It will not flourish. And even Dominic said this himself. and I think a couple other people, that it wants to detach itself from the crypto community. This whole Web3 kind of whatever it became a framework of, like the name became, the perversion of the name over time, because it's lost whatever it really was supposed to even mean. I don't even, and that's what I was saying earlier. Ask 10 people in crypto what crypto is about. No one can really give you a pinpoint answer, right? But from a logical point of view, in terms of, okay, what makes sense? Not a want. This can't be a want because, like, hey, we want this to happen. This is gonna have to be a need. It's gonna have to be a necessity for this to really be adopted by society, and that's what I think it is, right? And if it's gonna be a necessity, only the people building serious things are gonna win. They're gonna be the ones at the forefront. It makes sense to me when I see it like that, right? You're not gonna have Pepe coin here anymore. You're not gonna have Dogecoin here anymore. You're not gonna have the top without, like, no one's gonna be creating it because there's gonna be no money going into it anymore like it is today. And I can't really prove that. Maybe there will be just some random rich people that wanna still try and extract some things, but all this speculation on who's gonna do what, it's gonna be cleared up. And this was regarding my point earlier that so many people, supposedly crypto's gonna move forward, but so many people ignore it, and they muted it. They muted the entire topic. But at the same time, retail is the thing pushing this forward, guys. Yeah, I think this was a deep state project, honestly. But I'm not gonna even get into that. Maybe I'll get into that in another video. But yeah, supposedly you're just gonna raise $2 billion more to invest in it, even if everything's imploding from the inside. So either this is 100% money laundering, and obviously there is money laundering, I believe, that goes into this, but either it's 100% money laundering, or there actually is technology here that's going to have to be utilized in the future, right? And I think it's that, right? I think this is going to have genuine technology, and when technology matters, right? And everybody, not everybody, but the players in control of all of this, let that be seen. And there's cloud engines running globally, and it's a common thing in software, because internet computer is going to be the future of software, guys. Right? That's why I said it that's why I put it in the first slide. This is going to be the future of software. There's no competitors to it. And I was watching a cybersecurity video, and it wasn't even regarding crypto, and this was just showing how agents themselves now can hack into things. And you're telling me you're not going to want an infrastructure that can secure a lot of this and reduce a lot of attack vectors? And that's the thing, even if it doesn't remove or reduce every single attack vector out there, why would you want to have this? And it's kind of like self-defeating. The further you go with AI, the more this is going to increase, and it's going to actually degrade society. So the whole concept about we need guardrails for AI, internet computer is perfect for that. It has a much smaller attack surface, guys. It's just the easiest thing to say. It's the easiest thing to say. No other blockchain offers that on an actual software level, right? Most other blockchains are like kind of a plugin. I'm trying to think of this in real simple terms that you're not going to have any technical knowledge, right? Like, think of blockchain as something with a plug, right? Like a literal physical cord, right? And the infrastructure that it's running on is what it plugs into, like the wall, the outlet, right? Like, yeah, that it's important because it adds something on top of the layer, right? It adds something, like maybe you plugged in a fan and now you're cooling down. It did something for you, right? Like that's what most blockchains are today. And Definity actually created something that can secure it at an actual infrastructural level. And that's what this is. So on top of that, you solve for many other things. And most of the infrastructure itself, meaning canisters, is programmable to be pretty much anything. If we lived in a perfect world, guys, the whole canister idea would have been widely adopted already. But we're just gonna see how this all plays out. But with cloud engines, right? And this is really the point of the video past the long introduction. And that wasn't an introduction, but considering the actual introduction was like 10 minutes. But now that we're on the cloud engines part, right, I just kind of wanted to build up everything to this part. And think about what I was just saying, the future of software. And look what it says right here. If software ran forever, there would be no need for databases, as data could live inside software. And this is just like programming terms, variables, records, and collections, right? This is the orthogonal persistence of cloud engines, guys, right? And I've seen I've seen some people that were, people that aren't just rage baiting shit posters, right? I mean, people from actually within the community, and they seem like, oh, well, now we're going to rely on AWS. That's not what this is. This is not relying on AWS for any compute or anything like that, guys. In the simplest terms, it's like renting their space, right? Like they'll provide a physical node, but the software running on it will still be internet computer. And as far as my research, the real main trade-off of that is that if that becomes too popular, maybe if AWS wanted to stop for whatever reason, just said, hey, we're not going to let you use our physical storage space anymore, because they can do that, right? I mean, ICP can still run with its own nodes on itself. It's just that they added this option now to be more flexible, right? But it's not going to be like every other blockchain, where it needs to use Amazon's actual compute as well, right? It's all at the hardware level, guys. It's all at the hardware level, right? And then everything else is internet computer. And technically you could also say, well, were they ever decentralized because they didn't own the data centers they're putting their nodes in as well, right? So the decentralization is different for everybody. But I already made a video saying I think decentralization is a myth in certain ways. And at the end of the day, this still removes the main argument, because I remember before this, everybody was saying Amazon, Google, right? All this big tech is not going to let something like internet computer actually prevail or kind of decentralize the internet. But here they are now, and they're not denying service. Internet computers allowed, and you may not think that's saying much, because it's like, okay, well, this what does that mean? Like, they're not. It's not like there was an actual partnership with them. It's not like they shook hands and it's like we partnered with AWS. But guys, I looked it up, and unless it's wrong, right? Unless the research I did was wrong, it seems like if Amazon wanted to, they could see that, oh, well, this kind of sounds like a competitor to us. We don't want to offer our service to them. We don't want them to host a node in one of our data centers. They could deny them, but they're not. So this removes the whole entire idea that people were saying that they would never let this succeed. Big tech would never let internet computers succeed. And credit to Bobby O, man, because I mean, he really established that whole entire thesis of, big tech's probably going to be using internet computer one day. They can benefit from each other. And yeah, I think that's what you're seeing play out right now. So, and as you see here, AI agents are starting to be able to keep track on the same task longer and longer, right? This is basically showing how long an AI model can stay on a certain task, right? Like work on a certain task. And we're at 15 hours now with Claude 4.6. So this ties directly in my opinion, with software running forever and a 24/7 AI agent economy. And this is just, and I can tell in this video I seem kind of like maybe malaise, some kind of feeling of malaise, right? Like disassociated, but from my point of view, when I really think of this, guys, it's like it's insane. If the people that are invested in this right now were really able to call something out, not many others were able to see. I don't know if that's luck or what, but I have this picture here because it's the same thing I said in the first slide. I would have never seen this coming when I first started investing in it. I mean, I knew it was going to be a large play, but mainly because of Motoko. Motoko was programmed. I don't think they just I don't think that's a coincidence, guys. Like that's what I mean, right? Like obviously I can't prove that it's not a coincidence, and obviously I can't prove that there was some, elaborate plan, but they got they got a legendary programmer to help code Motoko. And Motoko just happens to be something that is enabling enhanced orthogonal persistence. And not even with enhanced orthogonal persistence, even before that, Motoko was built in a way where it's easier for AI, per Dom's words, right? Maybe not his exact words, but paraphrasing. It's a language made for AI. And this is Motoko from an anime known as Ghost in the Shell. And it has to do with cyborgs, pretty much, and AI running the world, right? And I think that's where we're going, guys. Internet computer removes a large attack surface. There's no teams needed for this software that's going to be running forever. It's going to be the future of software, man. It's 24/7 running software. If nodes go down, it still runs, right? There's no database server management at all. And this is going to be maybe for the slightly technical people, but it seems like cloud engines are kind of like creating a virtual machine, but with cloud now. And it's going to be with internet computer nodes or the protocol on any node. And kind of like how you configure a virtual machine when you choose how much RAM you want to give it, and when you choose the storage. It's like you're doing this with an actual cloud now, though. So I just thought that was pretty cool. Maybe that's not technically accurate or a good analogy, but it's just like click and deploy cloud now. And this is what I mean, guys. Like, no one else is offering this. They're offering their own thing, right? Which is great. Like, do your own thing. That's fine. But you've seen multiple times these networks say on chain, on chain, on chain, on chain. It's a hash on chain. The actual UI itself, the actual computation going on the chain, it's not there. It's not there, man. Like there's no simpler way to say it. And that's not an insult though. It's not an insult. It's simply the truth, right? Right? Near's trying to offer better smart contract infrastructure, and I said compared to traditional chains like ETH, like Ethereum right here, because you could argue Ethereum's kind of architecture is outdated, especially with gas fees, right? And things like Near, they have sharding, and it's the same thing with kind of like Multiverse X, right? And sharding's just basically a lot more economical in short terms, right? It just makes the chain better. That's just in simple terms. It's just a more efficient way of running your blockchain. So then you have Caspa, right? Which everybody in Caspa says, that's going to be the big thing, but they don't even have smart contracts. I mean, maybe they have it now, but they constantly have said they're going to have smart contracts, and I don't even know if they've had it yet. But it's really fast with transactions, so that's good. Do it for that. But like nothing's trying to be a cloud, guys. Nothing is offering click and deploy clouds that Pakistan has already decided to work with. And there's some people that criticize that it's Pakistan and not some major country, right? Like a first world country or something. But this is my argument. Why would a country that you could argue isn't the most economically stable to adopt something like this, why would they want to introduce a scam? They could easily, like, let's say like it's a bribe scenario, Definity's paying them to use them. They could like that's the most either they know that they sold their country out and it's literally going to collapse now, or they could have just taken the money and said, "Hey, we'll pretend to use you." Right? I'm just trying to think of any scenario that I can. But you would not actually have to run a node. You would not actually have to use cloud engines or caffeine. But they actually are going to be doing that. Which was to my earlier point that if Definity wanted to scam or anything like that, there's much easier ways to do this. You wouldn't be spending 500 million on R&D. You would be using it for marketing to pump your price up and then crash it. Like, you guys really think a pump to $3.50 and then a crash back to $2.50? That's the large rug. Why not spend it on marketing? Shoot it up to $25. Do anything you have to shoot up the price and then crash it, and then rug everybody. But that's not what happens, right? The price stays stagnant or it goes lower, and the tech gets better, and it gets more adopted. It's more adopted it's more adopted now than it was last year, guys. That's all that matters. That's all that's going to matter in the long run, right? And if all of these are considered to offer on-chain, then ICP offers fully on-chain. And if those are all considered to offer fully on-chain, then ICP offers 100% fully on-chain. And if all these want to claim they also offer 100% fully on-chain, then ICP will be the only one able to prove that when compared directly, right? Compare it directly one day. if it gets large enough and people start trying to say our chain can do it too. And we'll see how that goes, right? And that's the thing, guys. If you actually want to store anything on your chain, like it is for internet computer, it's self-defeating with the chain, because the more expensive, which is better for the community, right? Everybody investing in it wants it to go up in price. But when it goes up in price, it actually fails more relying on itself. It needs more dependencies as time goes on. Because the more it costs, the more it's going to cost to actually store directly on chain, because you're using the native token. You're using the native coin. And if that coin is expensive and whatever currency you're using, it's going to be that much more to even store stuff on it. And that doesn't happen with internet computer. But here's the big risk of internet computer, guys. It's really simple. Either this fails or becomes one of the largest impacts on society. Even if it ends up being more in the back end, meaning it never gets seen as like, oh wow, this is what's running society right now, but it's something like IP, like the internet protocol, right? And not many outside of information technology or IT understand internet protocol, right? But it still runs pretty much the infrastructure of the entire internet. So that's just one of the points of view, I guess, you should think of when thinking about this. And there's not much else to say, you know? I'm probably gonna do another video on the whole narrative around decentralization. Because even decentralization is getting a different kind of, it's getting a different narrative as well. I'll just say it like that, right? People are starting to wonder, you know, how decentralized is anything really ever going to be? And Pierre actually that's what I'll do. I'll make a video reacting to Pierre's or responding to Pierre his interview on this podcast. And he actually talks about decentralization from a more business point of view than a philosophical point of view. And I agree with that completely. That's exactly what I think. But yeah, guys. Sorry if I seemed a little like out of it. It's just it's kind of now this is the thing, right? If it's like 5 years from now and this never even happened, I'm just gonna look like so dumb right now. I'm gonna look really stupid on how I don't know if shocked is the word, but in awe, I guess you could say. If this is really the thing, like the one thing, because I'm not exaggerating when I say that. Either this is the one thing that runs a large portion of the future, or it isn't. And just the fact that I can be this early, and anybody else that even knows and actually realizes the value in it, all that has to do is all of these catalysts to play out. And I think you're just going to see it more and more, you know? Like I said, each month with internet computer, but people just look at the price, man. So they don't see the same thing. But yeah, that's all I got for this video, guys. So until next time.